Hello, welcome to the video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Luca and I like to talk about books. I wanted to start this video sipping some tea so that you would understand the vibes I'm going for. The vibes I'm going for are chill, calm, but I'm the one who needs to manifest that, and I'm trying. Anyway, I've got my tea. Good morning. Today we are going to be talking about, my July TBR. Yes, okay, this is exciting. So basically, you might be able to see sort of, I've got some huge chunks. Like what? That's not normally how my bookshelves look, not at all. It is because I have decided to set myself a challenge this month, the month of July. I did this, oh my gosh, in 2020. Holy moly. No, 2021. Okay, that makes me feel better. In 2021, in February, I did this. I called it the Alphabet Challenge. So the point of that video, the challenge, was to read a book written by an author whose last name began with every letter of the alphabet. Basically, the goal, ultimately, is to make my TBR smaller because I have a large one. It's about 130 books. I don't need that many books. I like to do the thing where I go out and buy a book and then read it. That's really hard to do when it's hard to narrow down your TBR when you go out and buy books and then read them. So this month of July, I'm going to read this. I have a stack here. You can kind of tell how tall it is given that my arm only goes down that far. I have a stack of books, and the rule for this month is to read these books and not buy any books until I have read these books. There are not 26 of them. You might be thinking, but Luca, there are 26 letters of the alphabet if we're going the English alphabet. You're right. I don't have an author whose last name starts with Q or X or I or Z or Y, to be fair. So anyway, as many authors whose last name alphabet letters that I have, I'm going to read before I buy new books. Some of these are books that I have recently bought. And there's just no way to avoid that. I'm sorry. There is a way to avoid it, just not buy books. Okay, let's just move on. So let's just hop in right into the TBR. Listen, I don't really stick to TBRs. That being said, I do really want to stick to this one. I'm not necessarily concerned about the specific books, but I do want to try to cross off one letter from each alphabet. What? One letter from the alphabet. What? Do you know what I'm trying to say? One author from each letter of the alphabet that I own. Some of these, for example, I only have a couple books and my pickings were slim. The other ones, I have a lot. For example, the letter D. I've got a lot of unread books by authors whose last names start with D. I picked one, but if I change my mind, I'm not going to be too upset about that as long as it's a book I already own. Yeah, as long as it's a book I already own, it's fine. It doesn't need to stick to these specific books. However, I also picked books I was very excited to read, or I felt like had been on my shelf a little too long. So I'm trying to stick to this. And then at the end of the month, maybe, I'll do a little, I did it. I'm not going to do a vlog because I really suck at those. Let's just get into the actual TBR. I know TBR videos don't do great, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just read the first line. That seems fun, and why not? A is for Austen, Jane Austen. I'm going to read Mansfield Park. This is the only book of hers that I have not read yet. Let's see what the first sentence is. About 30 years ago, Miss Maria Ward of Huntington, with only £7,000, had the good luck to captivate Sir Thomas Bertram of Mansfield Park in the county of Northampton, and to be thereby raised to the rank of a baronet's lady with all the comforts and consequences of a handsome house and a large income. We love Austen in this household, so I have no critiques. All right, B is for A.S. Byatt, Angels and Insects. 2 novellas based off of, I believe, Possession. They have the same cover design, but that means maybe nothing. I loved Possession, and so this has been sitting on my shelf since I finished Possession in 2020, so let's read it. Let's see what the first line is of Morpho Eugenia. You must dance, Mr. Adamson, said Lady Alabaster from her sofa. Okay, that's one. And then the conjugal angel. Lilius Papagay was of imagination all compact. Well, that one sounds more exciting to me, but we'll just see. We also like A.S. Byatt, but not as much as Austen, not gonna lie. All right, the next book I'm very excited for. I picked this one up yesterday, and yesterday as in the 30th of June, so don't worry, I haven't broken my don't buy any books in July streak yet. But this one I'm quite excited for, and I probably will read it, maybe not today, but quite soon. Sorry, I'm just peeling off the sticker. I really hate stickers. If you've met me, you should know this about me. Point is, C is for Agatha Christie. The Murder at the Vicarage. It's a Miss Marple murder. I read 2 in the past week, and this is my 3rd. They're really fun. I'm quite enjoying them. I want to read all the Miss Marple murders because they have these cool new editions of them. And so I'm excited. Let's see what the first line of this one is. It is difficult to know quite where to begin this story, but I have fixed my choice on a certain Wednesday at luncheon at the Vicarage. I like that. I love Agatha Christie. I'm getting into a murder mystery vibe. So good. All right. D is for The Setting Sun by Osamu Dazai. I read No Longer Human and I really enjoyed it. And this one just now has just been sitting on myself and taunting me, and I really think I should, actually read it. Mother uttered a faint cry. Well, that's a good first sentence, I guess. It doesn't rank the top, but whatever. Sorry, I'm being so chill that I'm going really slowly, but also I'm probably going at a normal speed given the fact that I generally talk and think quite fast. All right. E is for Eliot. T.S. Eliot. I'm going to read The Wasteland and Other Poems. Look at that cool art. You can't really tell. This was $4. Signet Classics. You did something right. I'm not going to read the first line because it's poems. I really have not liked the Eliot poems that I read in the past, so he's just looking at you. We'll see how this goes. I'm excited, but nervous. Trepidatious is a great word for that. F is for Be Here to Love Me at the End of the World by Sarah Fletcher. I picked this up because it was a staff pick at Powell's, and I actually don't know anything about it. I don't want to keep it that way. It seems kind of fun and weird and spooky. And okay, I'm gonna read the first 3 sentences because I feel like the first 2 are kind of half sentences. It's Brooklyn. It's winter. It's so cold outside that you could execute billionaires in the street and it hasn't even snowed. See, that's why I wanted to read the first couple lines. Interesting. Oh, it's by Sam. I said Sarah. No, it's by Sasha. Oh, goodness. Sasha Fletcher. Sorry, Sasha. I called you Sarah. I'm so sorry. I also just really like the cover of this one. Makes me think of trains, even though it's a bridge. A, B, C, D, E, F, G is for Daniel Geller's The Dog Flowers, or just, sorry, there's no article, Dog Flowers. This is a memoir that I picked up in May. My mother spent the last 6 months of her life homeless, sleeping in a park in Lake Worth, Florida. I'm excited. H is for The Electric Michelangelo by Sarah Hall. I don't even know what to say about this one, guys. I just picked it up on a whim and now I'm not excited to read it, so I figure I should just read it. And if I DNF it, that's fine. At least I've tried it and I don't feel as bad for having it just sit on my shelf, not being read. Hey, there's a cool illustration. If the eyes could lie, his troubles might all be over. I do not have any books with authors starting with the last name I. Whoa. I don't have any authors with the last name whose letter starts with I. Nope. I don't have any authors whose last name starts with the letter I. There we go. All right. So we're moving on to J. And I have Shirley Jackson. I've got her novels of the 40s and 50s. I've read The Road Through the Wall and I've read The Sundial, so I'm either going to read Hangsaman or The Bird's Nest. I don't know which one yet. I'm very excited. I like Shirley Jackson a lot. K. And I'm going to read Fear and Trembling by Kierkegaard. Kierkegaard. I didn't have that many choices. And I do want to read this, so I'm not disappointed or anything. It might not be as stimulating. It might be more stimulating than some of the other ones, to be honest. I don't know. I haven't read it. L. Search History by Eugene Lim. I bought this last month. Very excited for it. Read it, picked it up because of the book review in the New Yorker, and the back sentence says that he dies and he's reincarnated as a dog. So I was really excited to read it. And the first line is, the thing about the infinite library is that step 1 is to know the book you want, and step 2 is figuring out how to get to its location. I'm really excited for this, and it's not very long. So Sula by Toni Morrison. We love Toni Morrison in this household, and it's time to read Sula. John Green talked about this as one of his favorite books, or the most expensive book in his collection, not because of its monetary value, but of its sentimental value. So I'm really excited to read this because John Green liked it, so won't I? I don't know. I also recently read Home for school, which was good, but now I want to read other stuff by her. In that place where they tore the nightshade and blackberry patches from their roots to make room for the Medallion City golf course, there was once a neighborhood. Tom Morrison, I'm looking forward to you. N. I only had actually one choice, which is surprising to me because N doesn't seem like that uncommon a letter for a last name to start with. But anyway, my one choice was Sabriel by Garth Nix. This is a young adult book, I think, and I've just never read it, so I'm excited to read it. I think it's a very classic. This is the 25th anniversary classic edition, so obviously it is a classic. And when I brought it up to bookshelf, the bookseller was like, "You've never read this?" And I was like, "No, dude." And he was like, "Oh my god, you're gonna love it." So apparently I'm gonna love it, and I'm excited to read it. And it was also my only choice for M, which for N, which will push me to reading it because for some reason I've been putting it off. I don't know why. All right, we're more than halfway through. That's exciting. Oh, first line. Sorry. I manifested calm vibes, and now now it's just exhaustion. What's going on with my brain today? It was little more than 3 miles from the wall into the old kingdom, but that was enough. LMNO, and I have Down and Out in Paris and London by George Orwell. I had some other choices, and I might swap this around, but I wanted to include a few more, again, nonfiction books, variation. So this bad boy. The Rue Coq d'Or, Paris, 7 in the morning. All right, and then I only had basically one choice for this book. I did have some Sylvia Plath, but I'm reading Plath's diaries right now, so I didn't want to like double up on Sylvia Plath. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. So, P, LMNO, Snow by Orhan Pamuk. I'm a little worried about this one, but it has been on my shelf for 5 years, so it's time to read it. I think it's supposed to be a good book. I don't even know why I'm scared to read it. I think I'm just scared to read it because it's been on my shelf so long. The Silence of Snow, thought the man sitting just behind the bus driver. I've heard good things. I'm excited to read it. LMNOPQ, I don't have anything. R, I have some Rilke. The Dark Interval. I believe this was also my only R. Letters on Loss, Grief, and Transformation. So I'm excited to read this. I'm a little, it's not going to be fun necessarily, but I do enjoy some good Rilke. He always makes me cry. It was good, I guess, maybe. Maybe not. Probably not. S, we have George Saunders. A Swim in the Pond in the Rain. I might change this one up too, but it technically is not mine. It's my mom's, and I figure I should get it back to her, and so I should read it. We'll see. I don't know, but it seems really interesting. It's like Russian short stories that he lets you read, and then he talked about intellectual, perhaps heady, which I might not be ready for. Okay, I have 3 more books because I don't have any books past W. T. I have so many choices for this, like incredibly so many, and I chose Yoko Tawada, Scattered All Over the Earth, because I read The Emissary in April and I really, really enjoyed it, and I bought this book because of The Emissary, and I feel bad not having read it yet. It's also short, which, given the fact that I have a lot of books on my TBR, might be a good thing for this month. I spent that afternoon lying on the sofa, hugging a cushion, watching TV with the volume turned down. It's also a fun cover. I really like the cover of this one. So that might be part of the reason that I decided it was going to be my book for this month. You, I have nothing for you. I don't think I have any U's on my bookshelf at all. The next letter on the alphabet that I have is V. And I've got 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, baby, by Jules Verne. I could see that this might take me a while, so we might not read this. But a lot of it, at least, is intro. I'm kind of scared. This is the one book that I was kind of like I actually didn't have any other choice, and I'm a little scared. Or maybe I did, but the other one was like way longer. Now I can't remember what it was though. Power through. I'm setting myself this challenge, and I will do it. The year 1866 was marked by a strange occurrence, an unexplained and indeed inexplicable phenomenon, which surely no one can have forgotten. I'm assuming that he's going to tell us what that strange phenomenon was, and I'm excited to read about it. I know Captain Nemo is the guy in this book, so do you think Nemo is named after Captain Nemo? Like, I would assume so because oceans and stuff, but like maybe not, maybe I can Google it. All right, and the last book, the last letter of authors that I have is W. I have so many. So I have so many choices for W, like so many, and I'm kind of thinking I might change this. Like, I might not follow through with this, but at the same time, I've heard really good things. Still Life by Sarah Winman. I loved Tin Man, and I've heard good things about this one, but I also have other books that I want to be reading, such as like Tia Williams. I have 7 Days of June. So this one is like the most up in the air. But anyway, that's W. Oh, let me read the first one. I kind of feel bad. Like, I feel like I'm committing. I'm not committing to you. Sorry, that sounds even worse. I'm sure you're wonderful, but I don't want to commit. Somewhere in the Tuscan hills, 2 English spinsters, Evelyn Skinner and a Margaret someone, were eating a late lunch on the terrace of a modest albergo. See, I just love her. She's good. Ugh, I want to read that. But there are so many other books that start with authors. Ugh. You know how, it's a struggle. It's a constant struggle picking books to read. And that's why I have to just force myself to read these. All right, that's it. I have a lot of books. Let's review in the backwards order. Can I do my alphabet backwards? Because they've all kind of not fallen in a nice, neat pile on my bed. W, Sarah Winman, Still Life. V, Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's going to be really embarrassing if I couldn't remember that. T is the next one. Tawada, Yoko, Scattered All Over the Earth. Swim in the Pond in the Rain, George Saunders. S. Rilke, R. The Dark Interval. Get excited for this one. I just hit myself in the face. Snow, by Orhan Pamuk. O. Down and Out in Paris and London, by Orwell. Classic. N. Garth, Sabriel, classic young adult. M. Morrison, of course, Tony, we love so much. Sula. L. Eugene Lim, Search History, Shouted Out by The New Yorker. He's reincarnated as a dog. What else is there to love? We've got an infinite library in the first line, pretty cool. K. Kierkegaard, Fear and Trembling, classic philosophy. I got a lot of books here. Shirley Jackson, one of the 2 remaining novels of the 40s and 50s that I haven't read. Iconic, we love her. Sarah Hall, H. The Electric Michelangelo. Daniel Geller, Dog Flowers, memoir. Sasha Fletcher, Be Here to Love Me at the End of the World. I'm ready for some weird vibes. Unhinged. T.S. Eliot for E. The Wasteland and Other Poems. Poetry, short, really easy to get through, and also for something else that I want to do. Osamu Dazai, The Setting Sun. We loved No Longer Human. Now we have this one. We love. Agatha Christie, of course. Agatha Christie. It's Agatha Christie. Of course. Miss Marple. Buy It. True Novellas. And of course, last but not least, Austen. Favorite woman ever. Not really, but one of my favorite authors of all time, and the last book that I haven't read by her, and so I need to stop putting it off, and I'm actually quite excited to get this one. And those are all the books that I'm reading this month. Way too many. Thank you for watching this TBR video, which has a weird energy vibes going on. They're cursed vibes, sorry. If you like this video, let me know. Have you read any of these books? Because I'm nervous and excited for most of them, as you might be able to tell. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope to see you in my next video, and I love each and every one of you so much.